Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the what's next on Cruz, or Isaac Cruz, whatever you want to call him, lightweight contender at 135 pounds. He's coming off of a nice comeback win from the Javonte Davis loss back in December when he lost a close decision to Davis. He returned and took on veteran, former unified featherweight champ Yuriorkis Gamboa, 39 years old, but I know he came in a heavy favorite, but he went out there and did what he should have done against a guy like Gamboa at that age. He stopped his ass in the 6th round, I believe it was. Scored multiple knockdowns. Really great combination at the end right there that put Gamboa down and won him the fight. So a nice win for Isaac Cruz. And now the big question is, what's next for the former world title challenger Isaac Cruz? And we start with, let's run through the top 10 in the lightweight division and see what's possible. We know a lot of shit's been getting talked between Cruz and Ryan Garcia, but we'll get to that and see if there's any possibility of that fight going down. So we start with number 1, George Kambosos Jr. Not going to happen. Kambosos is locked up and what looks like back-to-back fights with Devin Haney, so that's not going to go down. Number 2, Teofimo Lopez. Not going to happen. Lopez is moving up to 140 in his next fight. They have the 2 promotions. Will not come together anyways, so not going to happen. Number 3, Vasily Lomanchenko. As much as I'd love to see this fight, I don't think it happens just because of the promotions. I think Isaac Cruz would like to take on a guy like Lomachenko, and to be honest, I think Cruz is a good option for Lomachenko when he decides to come back in the second half of the year, because it's very likely that Lomachenko is not going to be able to fight the winner of Haney and Kambosos until early next year, the first part of next year, because these guys potentially have a rematch clause in the contract. Unless the only way I don't see Kambosos and Haney fighting 2 fights against each other is if Devin Haney beats Kambosos so badly in the first fight that Kambosos doesn't want the rematch. So how that impacts Isaac Cruz is that Lomachenko probably would get a crack at the winner in the second half of the year when he comes back, and Isaac Cruz would be, kind of left out in the cold. But I think it's possible for Cruz and Lomachenko to happen, because that fight's, those 2 fights are likely going down, a first and second fight between Kambosos and Haney. But I think it's possible for Lomachenko and Cruz, but not likely because of the promotions. But it's possible because Lomachenko is such a big name, and Isaac Cruz might push for that fight. But again, I'm going to lean towards the less likely. Next up, the undefeated WBC champion, Devin Haney. Again, not going to happen. He's fighting Kambosos in June and likely fighting him again in the second half of the year. Number 5, a rematch with Javonte Davis. Not likely, but you never know. I mean, Davis beat him in December, but I think if Davis is waiting around for the winner for Lomachenko or a big fight with Ryan Garcia or one of those, why not run it back after his fight with Rolando Romero? Why not run it back with Isaac Cruz and go for the knockout in the rematch? He said he hurt his hand, so why not rematch Isaac Cruz and go after a rematch? That would make sense. But remember, Javonte Davis is no longer going to be with Mayweather soon, so this is his last fight with Mayweather Promotions. So maybe that fight is a little bit harder to get made. We have to wait and see. Ryan Garcia sitting there at number 6. This is a fight that Garcia wants. Isaac Cruz says he wants it. Why not make this fight happen? Well, the PBC and Golden Boy would have to come together for this fight. The PBC would have to understand that Ryan Garcia is the A side, and Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy would have to get this fight on DAZN. If the PBC would be willing and okay with doing that with their fighter Isaac Cruz, then I think the fight's possible. But the promoters have to come together, and I'm just leaning towards the less likely that happens. Number 7, Joseph Diaz Jr. Diaz is with Golden Boy, Cruz is with the PBC. I think it's less likely because of the same reasons. that I just said. I would love to see the fight, but I doubt it happens because of the promoters. Then you have Abdulayev, who just knocked out Jorge Linares. Not a huge name, but he knocked out Jorge Linares. So why not Isaac Cruz go after him, set up a big fight? I doubt it happens, but I'm not going to completely rule it out. You have Jorge Linares sitting back there as well. Not likely coming off the loss to Abdulayev. Javier Fortuna, good matchup right there. I think Fortuna is with Golden Boy now, so I don't see a fight with Cruz and Fortuna taking place, although I think it's a really good matchup. Richard Comey, he's an ESPN top ranked guy. Not likely going to happen, a fight with Cruz. And that's it. So that's what I got right now. That's the top 10, and Isaac Cruz, that's his what's next. I think it's likely he could, it's not likely, but I think it's possible he could fight Ryan Garcia or Lomachenko, but it's more likely that he fights Javonte Tank Davis again, which, hey, no knocking that. That's a big fight. But Cruz if he doesn't get those big name opponents, Cruz is going to have trouble if his promoter is not willing to work with other promoters across the street. Cruz is the B-side in a lot of those big fights, but he's done enough to where he could very much sell, but his promoter has to be willing to take the B-side and, go to another network. Not quite sure the PBC is ready to do that, so we'll see what happens. But that's what's next on former world title challenger Isaac Cruz, following his 6th-round TKO of Yuriorkis Gamboa. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave me a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.